All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Houston Rockets Daily. Today we're going to talk about Deandre Ayton possibly making his way to Houston. Now, I really don't think this is likely. The reason I'm making this video, one of my guys, Balin, shout out Balin, one of my Twitch subs, one of my most loyal Discord guys, one of my most loyal subscribers in general. So shout out to guys like Balin. But he told me to possibly look into Deandre Ayton coming to Houston. Now, the main reason I don't think this is all that likely is simply logistics. Houston is not in a position to make a big time free agent signing like this, but for the video, we are going to just kind of assume that the Houston Rockets would be able to work something out. I mean, would have to trade away Eric Gordon, the John Wall trade would have, I don't want to get into the logistics because they're super confusing, but basically Houston, I don't expect them to make a big-time free agent signing this year. It would be more so next season. If I'm thinking, where should Deandre Ayton go, and the answer isn't Houston, my answer would be Detroit 100%. But so far on the season, Deandre Ayton having one of his most efficient seasons in the NBA. He's in his fourth year. He was looking for a 5-year, $172 million contract extension this past summer. Phoenix did not offer it. So he's going to be a restricted free agent here. But teams are going to be able to sign this man. Teams are definitely going to be able to give him an offer. And, Phoenix is in an interesting position. I would imagine, honestly, if they don't win the NBA Finals this year, if they don't make the NBA Finals this year, they might start to look in a different path. I don't think that's what they should be doing, but I think DeAndre Ayton should definitely stay in Phoenix. But yeah, I would say Detroit's probably number 2 in my eyes. On the season, 17.2 points per game, 10.2 rebounds, 0.7 blocks, 0.7 steals. It's actually his lowest block season by far, but we're going to talk about that here in a second. He's extremely efficient shooting the basketball, shoots 64% on the season. And then 3-point percentage, he's not going to take any, but 37% on the season. But keep in mind, this is a very much outlier stat. He is not going to really shoot threes, only taking 0.2 per game in his entire NBA career. So the big thing with this, if the money were to work out, is I think it's interesting. You're going to have to trade away Christian Wood in this situation. I would 100% think the Rockets would trade Christian Wood. But DeAndre Ayton is definitely the type of player I'm looking to get to Houston as far as a big man goes. Houston, worst defense in the NBA this year. Terrible deep. I think we were the worst. Were we the worst defense in the NBA last year? I'll have to stat check that. But basically, last 2 seasons, we've been horrible on the defensive end. And I mean horrible. It's been ugly, dude. It's not awesome. A big thing is rim protection. Christian Wood is our starting center. Our starting 4-man is Jae'Sean Tate. And, there's a lot of opposing teams that can pretty much bulldoze them. I mean, they can literally bulldoze them. Christian Wood has been making strides defensively. Jae'Sean Tate is a solid defender, but as far as big men defense goes, paint protection, rim protection, Jae'Sean Tate and Christian Wood are probably the worst front court duo you could think of as far as rim protection goes. So, if you were to actually get DeAndre Ayton, your defense is bolstered immediately. I mean, your defense is literally bolstered. The worst case scenario I could see is the Minnesota Timberwolves last year, where they were a pretty horrible defensive team before Pat Bev, before Jared Vanderbilt kind of got going. Last season, Minnesota basically whoever they were playing, they would run right by their first 4, and then it would kind of be up to Cat. All right, is Cat going to be able to stop him at the rim? Cat's the paint presence. So moving forward, DeAndre Ayton would definitely be a money step in the right direction as far as bolstering the defense in general. Obviously, offensively, he's going to give you. This season, he's giving you 17, career 16.3 per game player. It kind of comes down to, for me, are you keeping Christian Wood or are you going with Sengun at the power forward? I'm actually really enticed by the idea of Alperen Sengun being the starting 4 long term. My only thing is, I don't think that Houston has a 1 in 4 chance at drafting Chet. And I just don't know. I don't think Sengun's going to be the 4. I love the Domantas Sabonis kind of comparison, but ideally I think I'd want to have Sengun at the 4. But I would think, would they trade Christian Wood if you got Deandre Ayton? You might have to trade him to kind of make it a little bit more flexible. I think in this situation, this is a situation I would 100% be down to keep Christian Wood. I mean, could you imagine this, even a starting lineup of, wow, this could be a deadly lineup, dude. Kevin Porter Jr., like next season, Kevin Porter Jr., Jalen Green, and then at the 3, maybe you have Jabari, maybe you have Banchero. At the 4, you have Christian Wood, who I think like 20 and 10, first off. This past season, he wasn't quite 20 and 10, but 18 and 10. Played good. Does have some... I still got to make that video because the Houston Rockets stats when Christian Wood plays, they're not good. Or this past season, they weren't good, man. But Christian Wood at the 4, or Sengun at the 4, if you will, if you want him. And then you got Deandre Ayton at the 5. I mean, that team makes playoffs. That team's making the playoff, even if it's the play-in tournament, they're making the playoffs. That's such a talented basketball team. So, Deandre Ayton's interesting. If I had to put a percentage of the possibility, I would probably go with like 10%. That honestly might be like a little bit too nice. Deandre seems like, well, first off, he's already gotten a taste of what it's like to win basketball games. I would imagine he wants to go to a contender, but he's also looking to get paid. So Detroit, Houston, I don't think they're out of the equation whatsoever. But I don't think I don't think it happens. First off, Deandre would need to not re-sign with the Phoenix Suns. And then Houston would need to clear a lot of cap room, like a lot of cap room. Sign him to a max contract. How would that impact Christian Wood? Like, there's a lot that goes into it, so maybe it's even for the best if they don't get Deandre Ayton this season. But I think Deandre is kind of the type of player I am looking to acquire at the big man position, whether it's the 4 spot, whether it's the 5 spot. I prefer more of the 5 spot. I've made videos talking about guys like Karl Anthony Towns, now Deandre Ayton. If one of those types of star players, Karl Anthony Towns, superstar players, comes to Houston, they would be bolstered immediately. But I think Rudy Gobert is honestly pretty solid option. I think Rudy Gobert is a pretty solid option. I think I'm going to have to make a video on him coming to Houston. Rudy Gobert, he's gone in the offseason, man. Unless they make it to like the Western Conference Finals, there's no way that man stays and doesn't request a trade. There seems to be a lot of unspoken drama over there in Utah. So let me know down below in the comment section if you're looking to acquire Deandre Ayton. Would you be open to getting Deandre? Like, risk? I guess you're not really. If you're trading just Eric Gordon, Christian Wood, it's like not that big of a risk at all. But do you want Deandre Ayton? We'll leave it as simple as that.